Don't worry, if you get too scared, the Vodkast will hold your hand, okay? Happy Halloween and welcome back to another ghoulish and ghostly episode of the Vodkast. I'm your host as always, Geycen Oliveira. With us today is a battle of candies, of Halloween candies for 2024. Now, I could have gotten a lot of candies. There's a lot of new candies that have come out for the holiday. A lot of them are just replicas of the originals, like Twix, even Snickers. I think one of them went with just a ghoulish green inside, which I'm like, that's just a different color. It's not going to change the flavor, I don't think, unless it's like slime flavored or alien blood flavored or something like that. In that case, I would have tried it. But in this case, there's a reason why I went with these three specifically. One of them was picked at random. The other two, I heard that they were very good. I heard that because these are stretched out and a little bit more flat, there's a little bit more caramel in them. And if you're into that, then they're supposed to be pretty delicious. Now, why they didn't change the shape and the color at the same time and make it like, I don't know, like an orange nougat inside this, I'll never know. These were the number one pick on Good Mythical Morning. Rhett and Link picked these as the best, and I can't begin to imagine. I've had these before, but I've only had clearance versions of these. I've never actually bought them fresh off the shelf. So every time I've had them, they've been a little bit crunchy and crusty on the outside. I mean, not crunchy, but you know how marshmallows get. And finally, I saw these, and because we do, if you want to check out any of them, by the way, we have a whole playlist of hot things that we've eaten on the channel, and I could not leave these because these are supposedly ghost pepper roulette. So you get the sour punch straws, and you just don't know which one you're going to get. But I can promise you one thing. We aren't going to stop until we get a ghost pepper one today. So where do we begin? I think we're going to start with a Snickers just due to the fact that it is just a Snickers. There is, of course, the added dimensional changes to this. We'll take a look at that in just a moment after I get it open here. I'll give you the best look I can give you. That's probably not the best look I could give you, but there it is. Yeah, just a pumpkin. It's actually a little bit thicker than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be spread out a little bit more, a little bit thinner than this, but I'll give you a little cross section, kind of, maybe. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, it's kind of what you've come to expect from a Snickers. It's just elongated. So I'm going to take this little piece and eat it, and I'll let you know what I think about it, okay? Here we go. Hands down, a totally different experience than a normal Snickers. The fact that it is spread out like that, there's a ton more caramel. If you like caramel, this is like a caramello bar with the addition of nougat and nuts inside. Holy hell. That's the best Snickers I've ever had in my entire life. I love Snickers. What's next? I'm going to move on to the straws next because we may be eating these for a little bit or for a little while because I do want to get to the point where we can try one of the ones that, okay, yeah. As you can see here, there's no way to tell visually that there's a difference between them. This one looks a little darker though, so we'll start with this one and we'll go from there. Here we go. That was tasty. That was, oh, yeah, that does got a little bit of spice to it. I don't know if they're all supposed to have a little bit of spice to it, or maybe it was close to one that was the ghost pepper one. I'm just going to keep biting these, chewing on them, and I'll let you know if I get to the one. That might have been the one, and if it is, it's not very impressive. It's below a 1 on my heat scale. Let me try this one. There's something stronger after outside lingers longer. That was the one right there, for sure, because all those other ones taste pretty much the same, sour. This one had some heat to it, not a lot of heat, but so little heat that I couldn't even tell that it was the hot one until I tried some that weren't the hot ones. Although, that being said, I usually stay away from the sour punch straws. They're just not something I enjoy. I'd rather have, like, you know, a sour watermelon. I'm sorry, my hands are so sticky. Or a Sour Patch Kid even. I don't like the format, the size, the shape that they come in. So I would much prefer to have something over those when it comes to sour. But I was pleasantly surprised by the flavor of those. The flavor of those are very, very good. They're punchy. They hit you really hard, and the sourness of them is probably on par with a Sour Patch Kid. I'm going to go lick my fingers now. Give me a minute. All right, now let's try Good Mythical Morning's favorite Halloween candy for 2024. I could not be more excited to try these. Caramel apple is like that artificial flavor that I do enjoy in things. Like if there's like a caramel apple coffee creamer or coffee or something, anything, cookies, whatever it might be, if it's caramel apple flavored, I'm very excited about it. None unless it's caramels. Caramels are too much for me these days. Too much sugar. Don't like the consistency. I'm going to have a freak out in just a minute here. Here's my knife. I'm just going to cut into this, make things easier. I do like that these are individually wrapped because that would be a real bummer if these are all just loosey-goosey in the package. In the past, the ones that I have tried, the clearance puffs, is that what the name of these things are? I've never really known the name, though. I would just call them marshmallows, but they're stuffed puffs. Okay. So the stuffed puffs that usually are just contained within the bag, they're not individually wrapped. I think this was a special packaging deal. There was one box of these on the bottom shelf in the seasonal section, the Halloween section at Walmart, and it took me like 10 minutes to find them. I kept going back to the regular candy aisle, then the baking aisle, then I was back to the holidays, and then finally I was just like, all right, they have to be here somewhere. It says it's in stock on this aisle. We're going to find them. We did. Here they are. Let's open one of these up and take a look at them because the ones that I've tried are usually just a colored marshmallow, but this one seems to have a texture to it. I might have had a textured one before, but pretty self-contained. I imagine the caramel apple filling is on the inside, or that maybe the apple is the marshmallow, I believe, and the caramel is just on the inside. So, without further ado, Good Mythical Morning's favorite Halloween candy for 2024, down the hatch. I see why they voted it their favorite candy, because it is very different. It's really unique. It's nothing like, you know, a Snickers or a Kit Kat or whatever other, you know, even Skittles or something like that. This brings a whole new, you know, food texture to the whole Halloween palette. I've never really had anything that interesting before. Now, do I love it? The flavor combination is really good. The sour apple isn't too sour. Might be like a Granny Smith. It's not like tangy. It's a good apple flavor, and it takes a while, or at least it took me a while, to get to the caramel filling, but then it just unloads in your mouth, and you are just everywhere in your mouth has this caramel gooiness just everywhere, and it's so good, and it mixes with the apple, and it really does kind of bring you back. A lot of times, you know, your olfactory senses have a lot of attachment to your memories. And trying these almost reminded me of Rapples when I was a kid. I don't know if you've ever had Rapples, but they're just caramel circles. They're like really thin. You wrap it over the apple and then you bake it. You stick a stick in it and then you eat it. Anywho, it brought me back to those days. The caramel was a little bit different in this. I would have liked to have more traditional caramel, but nonetheless, they are very good. So let's score these. This is a goddamn 10 in my book. This is one of the greatest candy bars that's ever been released. I wish Snickers year-round would do some kind of size iteration of this so that it's smushed down just a little bit, smashed down, smushed down, whatever. That's a 10. These are an 8. I really enjoy the idea of the whole ghost pepper roulette. I wish it was a little bit more spicier. However, the ones that are sour are worth their weight in gold. They're very delicious. So we'll go with an 8 on that. These puffs are really good. I wouldn't say they were as good as the Snickers. My favorite Halloween treat for 2024 would definitely be the Snickers pumpkin-sized. They're really good. They're a different thing. A lot more caramel in them. I think if you love Snickers, you should definitely give it a whirl. If you like caramello bars, you should definitely pick one up. These, if you have the opportunity, maybe buy a smaller bag. This is like a very expensive bag. It was like a $5.27 bag of stuffed puffs. I wanted to say Puffs Plus, which is, you know, the tissues that you for your nose, but these are stuffed puffs. Stuffed puffs and Puffs Plus should get together and do a flavor combination or a scent combination. I'm just throwing that out there. I'm willing to sit down at the table if you want to talk about it. I hope you guys have an awesome Halloween. It's not that I don't celebrate it. My house is decorated for it, but Halloween's never been the holiday. It's like the preemptive holiday to the awesome. Like I used to love Thanksgiving. I still love Thanksgiving. It's not that I don't love Thanksgiving anymore, but different reasons now. Like when I was a kid, I loved Thanksgiving because it was the one time that everybody would really kind of get together, come from out of state, Rhode Island to Massachusetts, not further than that. But and so like Halloween was just like the starter, the countdown to Thanksgiving for me. And then of course as a kid loving Halloween. Christmas. Oh, before I let you guys go, I had started to do a video. I know this is going to be lengthy, but it is my Halloween showdown explosion battle of candies. So I want to show you this video, followed up by another video in just a few minutes. But yeah, check this out. I was going to do a whole My Muppet Life. Here you go. Good morning, it's nice to see you again. I hope you're having fun now, 'cause our time's going to end. Greetings and welcome back to another fun and exciting episode of the Vodkast. I'm your host, as always, Geycen Oliveira. Really? My Muppet Life? Is this what we're calling the episode? My Muppet Life. That's my life. No. Sometimes I feel like, Jay, no one feels that. Greetings and welcome to my Muppet Life. My Muppet Life. My Muppet Life. Is Muppet trademarked? Is that one? Like, you can use the word Muppet. I know you can use the word. No one's going to kill you if you say the word Muppet. I mean, I don't think. My Muppet. You can say puppet all you want because I think that's public domain, but I would imagine that Muppets are probably still copywritten, trademarked. What's the difference? My Muppet Life.
My Muppet Life.
In my Muppet Life, there's a lot of water. In my Muppet Life, sometimes I randomly get up and change my sweater. The temperature hasn't changed, but now my sweater has. What does it mean? We interrupt this sanity to give you a real episode. Hi, my name is Geycen Oliveira. This is the Vodkast, and this is my Muppet Life. I was upstairs. Might have been partaking in some. And it popped into my head, my Muppet Life. And I started thinking, there's something there. There's something in the Muppet Life. You might never see this. My Muppet Life, my friend Paul has said, I remind him of a Fraggle. Who's your favorite Fraggle? Let me know in the comments below. Let me know if you're old enough to remember when they were originally on HBO. Do you remember cable? I've been with Comcast for over 20 years.
I've been with Comcast for over 20 years.
Please forgive me, I've been ill. I'm going to change this too. I love this sweater. It's my favorite, one of my favorite sweaters. Never been a big Halloween guy. Let me talk to you about that in just a minute. I forgot my sweater. You know what? Now I'm too sweaty. I'm too sweaty from running around to wear a sweater. This office traps heat a lot. I get around to a lot of things. I don't get around to a lot of things. I just wish I didn't. When you don't feel well, you don't want to do things. I hate fevers. Did I say cold? You know what I mean. I'm just stating facts because it's science. Science and technology. Science. Do you remember that? It was basically of me spending a year of my life figuring out what I wanted to do. Science and technology.
Science.
Well, no, it was more documentary, like about, Artie and Corey and like Jess. Now I feel like if I had my sweater on, it would have been creepier if I came up like this, like a zombie. I say zombie. Yesterday was the first time I ate in like 3 days. Can you hear it, baby Jesus? So I can't steal baby Jesus or any of his lambs or camels or ride upon one of the camels and take pictures. That'd be a nice picture. Wouldn't be nice, though. You could break it, and you don't want to do that. You don't want to disrespect someone just because you want to ride on a fake camel. Maybe you do. I don't know. That's your prerogative. I'm not going to judge you either way on that. I'm just saying, sometimes you just go and do things like you climb up on the roof of a school. Let's go ride down to the school because I didn't want to play basketball. I didn't want to do anything. I'm like, why wouldn't you want to climb up on the top of a building? What you don't realize is that's against the law. Climbing a building, that seems like fun. Then, yeah. Oh, yeah, I was going to tell you about Halloween. Oh, my laundry timer. I had like 15, 20 minutes, and I was like, I could eat. It's wacky. I got to cough again. Do you have little weird things like that in your life? Share them with me in the comments below. That stuff is the Halloween for me. I like that stuff. I never finished my Halloween story. Okay, so yeah, I was a kid, Cub Scouts. That was the last time I think I might have dressed up in my life. I don't want to be here. These big kids like to run around and push, and I don't like to push and run around with big kids. No idea. No idea what that's about. Hate wigs, hate masks. But if it's a helmet, I'm down with a helmet. Helmets are cool. Not like I need helmets. My Optimus Prime, or I've got the, the X-Wing one. So why don't you fellas and ladies all take care of each other out there? That didn't come out right, but you know what I'm talking about. And that's where it ended, just because I didn't know where to go with it, but I thought it was pretty crazy. Crazy enough that I wanted to share it with you. And yesterday I released this on Facebook, and I thought it was a pretty funny video too. So take a look at that. I am working on another one of those videos that involves a katana and a head of lettuce and some cabbage, but I fucked up on the first take, which was a perfect take. Just like that. That video was one take. I went out there and just nailed it. I love when that happens. Unfortunately, I did the same with a katana and a head of lettuce and a thing of cabbage. Got it perfect the first take, realized I'd hit photo instead of video. So happy Halloween, everybody. If you guys are loving the content I'm creating as much as I love creating the content that you guys are watching, would you please consider subscribing to the channel? It would be a huge help for me. Don't forget to make somebody smile today and make yourself a better person tomorrow than you were today tomorrow. Let's make the world spin a little bit happier and a little bit spookier together. Let's sing and dance, and the sun and the rain is one, my brothers and sisters. Live life to the fullest and love every moment of it, because you just never know when that last moment's going to come for you. However, never live in fear of that moment. Always live in love, but never let your inner child die. Ooh-wee. Take care of yourselves, take care of one another, and take care of those around you who cannot take care of themselves, for they are the ones that need it the most. And if no one's told you today that they love you, the Vodkast loves you very much. All right, guys, do no harm. I'm Geycen Oliveira. This is the Vodkast. Have a happy Halloween. I'll catch you guys a little bit further on down the road to 50. Take care, my friends, and happy adventuring.
Don't go to sleep with a catch it in your pocket.